And Paul, we shouldn't forget as well that you've been celebrating this week. Congratulations on the Irish Cup win, the second one on the bounce, is that right?
Yeah, we've done really well because we got to our third final. We actually lost the first one 3 years ago. You know, and we've won the last two on penalties, and it's been quite dramatic, both of them.
And how's the hangover been? Because I believe you had a few after last Sunday.
You can celebrate in Ireland, I'll tell you that's for sure. You know, certainly in Sligo, they really do celebrate any trophy we get.
We'll talk more about that game later, but great achievement, isn't it, David, what Paul's done over there?
Yeah, fantastic. We've been over there as an ex-players team, and we saw the setup, and certainly they are very keen and what have you. But it's a struggle being over in such an isolated part of Ireland. You know, to come up against the big sides that are all centred around Dublin. I think so. Fantastic achievement.
Jamie, you know Paul. Have you followed his career over there at all?
Yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he? I mean, it's a big thing, I think. But from Liverpool, no one likes to move away at times. I think I'm a little bit like that, but to go over there, and get involved, and maybe the football doesn't know that too much about it over there, to go in and to achieve what he's achieved. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people knocking over the other side of the water now, which I'm hearing that there is.
Well, St Johnstone, I believe you sort of had a conversation with them, but you didn't fancy it?
No, there was a lot of circumstances. They would have agreed compensation with Sligo for me to go. I went over and met the chairman and his son, and you don't really want to discuss what went on, but it wasn't for me at the time. Correct, they were fourth in the SPL, and I wasn't going to bring any staff with me. They wanted me to cut the wage bill. And there was a few other things that just didn't sit well. At the time, I would have had to leave Sligo immediately. And for managers to leave before the cup final, and for the Irish, for certainly the Sligo fans, it means a lot to them. So I just didn't think it was right at the time. So I had to turn it down. It's something that I might regret. It's a fantastic club. Certainly, they're a club that are doing really well in the SPL. But at the time, I just didn't think it was the right thing to do. I'd rather keep going at what I'm doing. And hopefully something else will come up.
I suppose it's a price of success, isn't it, in a way that at least you're getting the offers, put it that way.
I think what's happened really well over there now, especially with ourselves and Shamrock Rovers competing so strongly, they'd be a big inner city Dublin club. They've carried the flag, they've obviously won the league this year, they beat us to the league, and they're still going in the Europa League, which is a fantastic achievement for clubs in Ireland to qualify for that. We got knocked out by a Ukrainian team, 2-0 over 2 legs. In the second leg, we actually never touched the ball for 90 minutes. The teams are that good, and then, Jamie will tell you, they keep the ball so well. So it just shows that Irish football has come on a little bit, that like Shamrock Rovers actually qualified for the Europa League.
Jamie, what's it been like at Melwood?
Another red letter day. For the fourth time, Sligo Rovers are the FAI 4 Cup winners for 2011.
The moment that Sligo there clinched their second Irish Cup in 2 years must have been a great day for you, Paul.
Yeah, it was a great day in the fact that we won, but it was our worst performance of the season. We were really awful. We were playing a first division team in Shelburne, who were very, very dour and strong and got men behind the ball, and for some reason we never got going on the day. We never played at all well. We're normally a team that does move the ball quick and passes it well, and we have a threat in wide areas. We never got going. We were awful. I always had a bad feeling about the game all day. I really didn't think it was going to happen for us.
What about the day and the occasion? I mean, obviously we're used to the FA Cup final here every year. How does it compare?
It's fantastic for for Sligo people. We get looked after really well. We go and stay overnight properly. We do everything, really well. I think we took 15,000 fans there. Well, the population of Sligo is 24,000. So to take 15,000, it's a really big achievement. And we go there and we get really treated well. And the Aviva Stadium, I don't know if the lads have seen it. It's a fantastic stadium. It really is a good stadium. We had obviously the experience of winning there the previous year. To go back, and we played well last year, but not this year. That was the disappointing thing, that I felt if we turned up and play, we'd win. But we actually turned up and didn't play, so we laboured to win. Well,
it sounds like you were living on your nerves a bit. Let's see how the cup was won and how you celebrated as well.
The penalty that will give Sligo Rovers the cup for the second year in a row. It's Raphael Kotaro against Dean Delaney, and Kotaro is the reason that Sligo are taking the cup back to the northwest. Just like last year, they celebrate in front of their ecstatic supporters. The man from Sligo does it. The crucial penalty taken by Raphael Kotaro. This is what Paul Cook was doing. He was under the main stand here, celebrating, watching a monitor. He couldn't bear to be out in the middle of the stadium. What a character.
So you couldn't actually watch the penalties?
No, never seen him. Never seen him till Monday night.
I mean, have you been in with penalty shootouts before, and have you watched them before, but just this one you couldn't do?
I was in Istanbul watching them.
Yeah.
I was brave enough to watch them.
As a coach or a manager, though, have you been involved in?
I just felt like, since I started managing, we had a penalty about 2 or 3 years ago for Sligo, that we got 4 minutes into stoppage time to get us into Europe, and we hadn't been in Europe for like 20, 30 years. I just thought, I'm not sitting here watching this. I went down the tunnel. And then we done the same in the final last year. And I spoke to the lads, I tell them that they're a credit. You know, you don't lose nothing on losing on penalties. You know, I can't help you now. I said, make sure you go and pick your spot and hammer it. Do what you think's right, but be dead positive. And as it went, the lads done that for me.
Jamie, have you ever experienced that, a manager not being able to watch the penalties?
No.
Just turning back to the Sligo win, what's the reaction been like, Paul, since the victory last weekend?
Yeah, it's amazing, but just to pick the lads up on a point, and I think it is an interesting point, managing and playing is completely different. You can't emphasise that. You feel the pressure of the stadium at that stage. For the lads, as Jamie said, even Istanbul, the lads have been fantastic to turn it round. You can only go and score your penalty. But as a manager, you have all different things going through your head. What it means to the people to win. You know, we can't let them down. You know, and individually, as Jamie says, it's not about a player missing. You know, but what you want to win so much, so that you now can't affect that. So it's an interesting situation where I just try to get out the way. You know, when I played myself, I'd take penalties happily. That wouldn't bother me, you know, I'd go and have a go if I miss a miss. But as a manager, it's something that you're not in control of in any shape or form. And I find that not very good. During the game, you can change something if you not think it's working. But when it comes to penalties, it's a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got a souvenir for us, I believe, of the victory.
I've brought the top in, it's Sligo Rovers, the FAI Cup final top that the lads wore. You know, and if it goes up, it'd be great for me. So obviously when the bus left, on Saturday from Sligo, I'll get a bit of stick because we have a big picture of Kenny at the front of the bus leaving.
Right.
You know, no one's got an input in anything we do on our coach in terms of music, pictures or anything like that. The only time we could remove Kenny was when the cup went there on Sunday night, so I settled for that. So if that could go up, it'd be great.
OK, yeah, we'll get you to sign it and we'll put it on the wall. Absolutely, thanks for that. Well, a change of sport, the atmosphere at the Sligo games, Paul, do you get like quite a raucous atmosphere? Yeah,
it's obviously, you know, it'd be a little hostile ground. It wouldn't be the biggest ground. Our capacity's 5,500, and we get some, you know, we feel it quite regularly now, especially when we played like the Shamrock Rovers come down, you know, and it is quite hostile, yeah. You can hear a lot what's said, that's for sure. OK, well, we've got now a quiz for you. This is all based on international football and Liverpool players playing international